Chunjo. So our standard type of striking is straight punching. Straight punching is right down the center line, looping fashion, one right over top of the other, so that there are no gaps between the hands. I want to make sure that I'm protected as I close the gap. My shoulders are going to be slightly up, my elbows are going to be in the center, my fist is going to be vertical and driving forward through the target. When there's a gap between me and an opponent, my first punches are going to be much higher so that I can engage the space and control whatever is incoming against his strikes. And when I pass that point, I'm going to be striking more or less to the chin, the nose, the orbitals. Basically anywhere in this area is my primary target. I want to keep it below the eyebrows. Okay? If I see that his head is dropped because he's either coming for a takedown or because he's trying to shield, my punches immediately open and go to palm strikes. My palm strikes can be right down the center, just like my straight punches. This idea in Chunjo of open and closing hands exists everywhere. Our blocks and deflections have this capability, right? Those are just basically adapted straight punches. Palm strikes, opening and closing, from grappling to sticking to striking, all of this is commonplace here. So it's not unusual as you begin training. So we've got palm strikes through here. Our primary target for palm striking is just basically how it fits against the chin. If you notice Scott, if he holds his palm strikes open, if he's got his arms rotated slightly out to here, he's going to just fit right on my chin. He can also strike to the orbitals. These are good and excellent areas to strike to. If he's doing single hand, he might go straight to the nose. Right? So again, similar target areas for the palm strike. Hooks and uppercuts. This is quite important to understand that everything is built on the center line and integrates both striking and defense, right? Attacking and defense. We're making sure to integrate the two concepts with every given move. So our hooks primarily are all off the lead leg. I'm going to balance my base a little bit side to side by having my stance slightly open in a boxer stance. I'm going to sit with a squared position. The hand is going to come from the heart. It's going to come out. Got a 90-degree angle. I'm going to strike the target and then loop back to the heart. Hips are the primary action here to generate the power. My lead hand is often in sticking or trapping position. That's why I'm cross-handed. Okay? So it's not something I'm going to close the gap with. I've already closed the gap. I'm in a sticking position, maybe a forearm sticking position, and now I can strike directly to the chin. All right? If I'm trapped in here like this, it might be as I'm riding that pressure angle that I'm striking to the side of the jaw as I've got this other one engaged and of course loading my base onto him to make him fight for his balance. That could be a clash engagement where it's just opening up space after the hook, going back to the straight punches, that sort of thing. It's important to control the inertia side to side. And so if we come over here, so if we come over here and we look at how we're going to control the inertia, these are short range strikes for us on the high hook. I'm coming out, I'm twisting my hips, and I'm coming back to center. As I load my base onto my opponent, it allows me to control that side to side and continue to advance moving forward. Always undermining the base and having the ability to transition back to my straight punches, palm strikes, forearm strikes, that sort of move. So again, I'm coming out, I'm hitting the high hook here. If I'm hitting the low hook, I'm going to rotate, open, almost like I'm holding a shovel handle and rotate through here. Often my hand will be trapping, striking, you know, on the rear hand here. Okay, this will be active. For right now, for visual purposes, we're just going to concentrate on this lead hand, however. 1, 2. If I go all the way to uppercuts, I'm either going to hit the chin or I'm going to hit right to the solar plexus. And that becomes an angle of what I'm doing with the hips. Right? We can maintain a little bit of variation depending on if I'm turning the hips over, scooping the hips under, or making them more of an elliptical action. And you'll see this in the various combinations that we perform in Chunjo throughout, like focusment drills 1 through 4, and just general combination striking
throughout. All right?
All right, the next strike we're going to talk about is called a kwa choi. This is a floating back fist. So what does that mean? What that means is that I'm going to still align with my back 3 knuckles, and as my arm gets pressured down and across on an engagement, I'm going to loop the hand, so I've got a broken wrist here, and when I strike out, it floats to whipping action and snapping to the orbitals, chin, side of the face area. Okay? So as I'm coming in, I've got a nice little snap. One more. Snap. This is often followed with some kind of ripper or lopsal. That's just a control on the arm that allows me to whip and then again go back to straight punches. It's important to understand that this strike in its full function can be utilized as an engagement, meaning it can block as I'm going back into other strikes, and we'll show this in another video where you can see the applications of these different strikes. Okay? So that's an important one. I want to keep it tight. I can hit it this angle, this angle, this angle, or even this angle. All of those angles are fine, but it comes from a good clean rotation where I can strike at all of those places. Right? I've got good distance between my elbow and rib area. I'm not collapsing, trying to move forward into the strike. I also don't want to hit the back of these bones. If you've ever whacked your hand against something hard, this hurts like crazy. I need to align the knuckles to get good power, right? So that's important, and good stability, good speed. Forearm striking. Good clean angle. Where I break is at the elbow to increase it if I need to. I'm using this ulna bone, using that blade, driving out. This can be unbraced with straight punches, or it could be braced. In the case of where I need to have a shield to clash, jam up an opponent, and then move into deeper, closer strikes. That's a good possibility as well. In a multi-attacker scenario, right, where you've got a lot of guys coming at you, we're not going to stand in the middle, movie style, bam, breaking them out, all this kind of bullshit. What we need to actually make sure we're doing is breaking out of that situation, get free, get clear in isolating positions, or run and get free. What do I mean by that? If this is my opponent and another one is where the camera is, maybe I'm coming in here to blast out of their shield and then break out so that I don't have 2 guys converging on me at once, striking me in blind areas and that sort of thing. So that forearm strike braced could act as both a shield and an attacking mechanism there as we're going forward, maybe again with a knee up or some other combination. So these are the way that we're going to be thinking about our strikes. Really dynamic, useful, and of course integrated into the larger whole. All of our strikes are built to control the inertia generated from side to side. In other words, even when I'm throwing a hook, I want to be able to recover my base to come back to straight punches. I don't want to throw the hook and have to go catch the base if I miss, right? Or I don't want to have to open the base so wide that I throw and I have to recover out here. I want to be able to throw the hook and then come right down the center. So this is not a hook like boxing does, right? There's certain elements that overlap and are similar, but there's many things that are different. And we need to understand those differences if we truly want to maximize our ability to advance our forward pressure and forward motion to continue to move in, close the gap, stay sticking, and not let the opponent free until we are finished counterattacking and finishing the altercation. That's the consideration. All right, another strike we're going to talk about is elbow strikes. Anytime I'm jammed up, maybe I've gone with my straight punching and I've jammed up myself with an opponent because they've shielded, clashed, pressured, whatever it is, or I'm in really, really tight, I may need to shift to elbow strikes. So elbow strikes we're going to use here, the back 2 inches or so in the ulna bone, keeping the hand flat. If you catch with the tip, it's all right. Might cut or slice, but I'm not aiming with the tip. Right? I want a bigger surface area to connect with. So as I'm going there, I can hit side to side utilizing the power of the hips. Right? I can hit up angles. I can hit down angles. If you're just training this at the beginning, concentrate on keeping it easy. Right? I want to make sure that my elbow's up, I've got good alignment so I'm not hurting my shoulder, and good rotation, palm down. Right? You can make a fist or even cup at the beginning, but just keeping it free. Right? Keeping it close. Don't have your arms way out here where you're twisting. Certainly don't have them here. This is ridiculous. Just keep them tight. Boom, boom, boom. All right? On the bag, you can just start off loading, keeping your base strong, being able to strike. Right? And then you can start changing angles. You notice I've got stability. If I miss, it wouldn't matter, right? As you're coming in, you can still hit that next elbow strike by controlling your base and inertia, keeping your feet moving, keeping strong, keeping your head, your hips, and feet aligned. The last thing that's really important is an overall striking concept. It's essential to understand regardless of the type of strike that you're doing. Stay low in your base. In other words, I want to stay grounded and strong. Power is generated through the dropping motion in a strike. In other words, if I'm going high as I strike, I'm losing power. If I'm dropping low as I strike, I'm utilizing gravity as a means to complement power. This is true for straight punches, right? Where I'm sitting low. It's true for hooks, where I'm dropping. It's true for uppercuts. It's true for forearm strikes. It doesn't matter. Palm strikes. Dropping your base is going to help protect you. You're shrinking your target lower. You're giving yourself extra stability, and you're generating power as you drop. These are all useful elements to make sure you can get out of this altercation as soon as possible and maximize your ability to deliver power and stay stable. Good luck in your training.